Dr. Gary Tonge is a missionary with the SCOAN, the Synagogue Church of All Nations. He came over more than 20 years ago with his family to SCOAN. Dr. Gary has a PhD in mathematics, having a first degree in electronics with specialization in digital technology. His wife, Fiona Tong, is a retired nurse with a postgraduate degree in disaster management. Dr. Tong attended the University of Southampton in the United Kingdom, where he obtained his PhD. And at the age of 30, he was on the board of the Independent Television Commission, which is the regulatory body for all private television stations in the United Kingdom. This was before he now retired at the age of 30 to be an independent consultant. Dr. Gary Tonge and his wife have been with TB Joshua for the last 20 years before he passed on. And they have two of their children that were with them at the beginning and have grown up to become evangelists at the SCOAN. Evangelist Ruth Tong is one of them. Evangelist Ruth has been with his brother and his parents for a very long time. And she has served from all departments of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. She has been very functional in all the international crusades and outreaches that TB Joshua undertakes. She has been given different platforms within the SCOAN arena to minister and also to conduct deliverance, just like all other disciples of the Synagogue Church of All Nations. The picture you are seeing now is of Evangelist Ruth demonstrating a sermon that she was preaching, using some of the members of the congregation to demonstrate her point to the public. In addition to Ruth, her brother, Prophet Chris Tong, is a well-known minister whom TB Joshua uses a lot in most of his travels, crusades. He mounts the altars and does so many things, from conducting deliverance, helping out. One can say they have paid their dues, starting from a very young age. Chris and the sister and the father and the mother have spent the last 20 years of their lives serving Prophet TB Joshua. Chris often throws up jokes that he's a Nigerian, even though he's of a different color, because he likes the Nigerian food of fufu and pounded yam. Spending 20 years of your life in a ministry far away from home can have its challenges. But over the years, Prophet Chris has thoroughly enjoyed his discipleship, recounting that he came there when he was very small and he had a real encounter with Jesus through Prophet TB Joshua. And he couldn't wait to finish school and come back to the Synagogue Church of All Nations. So 20 years of Prophet Chris' life has been spent at the Synagogue Church of All Nations. But unfortunately, after the demise of Prophet TB Joshua, both Prophet Chris, Evangelist Ruth, the sister, and their parent had to return back to the United Kingdom because of the crisis that rocked the Synagogue Church of All Nations over the leadership, which now fell on the founder of SCOAN, Prophet TB Joshua. But to date, Prophet Chris has started his own ministry called God's Heart TV, doing the same thing that he has been taught over the years at the SCOAN. Dr. Chris Tong was the spokesperson, international spokesman for the Synagogue Church of All Nations. He has been through all the missionary journeys to the furthest part of the earth. He has been to the jungles of Mexico, the jungles of Philippines, the jungles of Thailand, the cold chills of Siberia, and Kyrgyzstan. Dr. Tong and his wife have been pacesetters in the growth of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, and we must appreciate them for that. Before TB Joshua passed on, Dr. Tong wrote a book on TB Joshua called TB Joshua, Servant of God, and recounting his experiences over the 20 years that he has spent at the Synagogue Church of All Nations, working with a man of God. Such sacrifices can never go unrewarded because he left all to serve God. He left the things of the world to embrace the things of God. And here is TB Joshua acknowledging and recommending the book to all who love SCOAN.
Do you know about this book, TB Joshua, Servant of God?
You read this book? Yes. I read it from A to Z. Nothing is outside me about this book. Very interesting.
How much time do you have for this book? I'm asking this because of your time schedule.
Well, a very interesting book does not need much time. I read it. I enjoy it. It is worth reading.
And love TB Joshua. God blessings are without sorrows. Today, Mrs. Fiona Tong and Dr. Gary Tonge have gained an in-law. SCOAN Prophet Racine